In this new multi-part series, we will explore how and why I made the switch from Excel to Python Pandas and what areas Python Pandas excels at. The plan is to use best tool available for any specific task without any biasness. Our first part will explore basic data transformations in Python Pandas, one of the most famous transformation and data manipulation library of Python. These can be done in Microsoft Power Query as well, but Python Pandas offers a new skill set, and since Python is a general purpose language, it's able to interact with other software's environments as well. Stick around till the end of video if you want to learn to achieve same results for the data manipulation of above tasks using Microsoft Power Query instead of Python Pandas. If you like the content, support the channel by liking and sharing with your friends. With that out of the way, let's jump right into it. Let's load our data to Jupyter Notebook, which is best for this kind of data analysis. We are going to generate some fake data using Faker library of Python and then convert to Python Pandas data frame and then do a head method to check what top 3 rows are. Let's extract this data frame to an Excel file so we can later do the transformations on similar data. If you just want your destination file to be in the same directory as your code, you don't have to give the full file location. For example, my current code is in this directory, so as soon as I give the file name and press enter, this will export and create a new file in the current directory where the code resides. Exporting a data frame is very simple. You just say df and then do .to excel. Get the file name, index equals false. If you give index equals true, then these 0, 1, 2, 3 you see here, these will export as well, which are not needed most of the times. As a good practice, I always create a copy of original data frame. This is helpful when exploring data. So if something goes wrong, we can create a copy again without having to load the file again. Especially helpful if the file is large and takes time and resource to load. Copying a data frame is very simple. We do that by simply typing the new data frame name and putting it equal to old data frame and then just adding .copy and we get a copy of the data frame. Let's run it. And we now have a new data frame as a copy of original that is called df_new. Once we have the new data frame, let's look at top 3 rows using head method. We have a lot of columns. We have name, address, emails. We have city, date, time, and some random data as well. As a good practice, we can always check information of our data frame using .info method. So let's do that. Here we can see the column names, data types, etc. You can see the total amount of entries. So we have 500 entries total, and you can see all the 8 columns have 500 non-null values. It means there is no missing data in any of the columns. Then you have data type here. So object is the mixed data type or string data type. Date time is date time. Integer 64 is integer. And here at the end, it summarizes how many data types appear how many times. So date time is only once. Integer is also once, and rest 7 columns are objects. So 7 plus 1 plus 1, we have total 9 columns. And then it tells you the memory usage as well. So this is using 35 KB. So let me add a head here just so we can have a reference data frame so we can work off of it. Right, so for our first transformation, we'll split the address to 2 new columns using the new line character. So you can see the new line characters here, and for this one it is here. We do this by selecting the relevant column. So let's do that. You can select the relevant column by just typing the data frame name and then selecting a column. So df_new was data frame name, address was the column name. Keep in mind that any string value in Python is given inside of single quotes or double quotes, and then square bracket is used for accessing the column. Then you type .string. So anytime you are accessing the string properties of any column, you type str with it, access the split method. And here we can see it accepts a pattern by which you will split it. There is an expand parameter and there is a regex parameter, stands for regular expressions. For pattern, we will give new line character as /n, /n, that is for the new line character. Let's give that. And we will use expand equals true because we want this to expand to 2 new columns. Keep in mind that this line will get the job done, but it's not going to save these 2 new columns to the original data frame. To do that, we will put 2 new columns on the left side of equal sign. So let's do that. Put an equal sign, and on the left side, we will give 2 new columns. So we will say df, then we type 2 square brackets. 1 square bracket is for selecting the columns, and the second square bracket is for giving a list, because in Python, you will have to give multiple values within a list. You cannot give multiple values without using a list. Right, so let's add a head method here. So as soon as we run this line, let's check to see if our new columns have been created successfully. Let's check just 3 rows, and you can see our 2 new columns created are address 1, address true, and the original column is address. Alright, Now let's do the same data transformations using Microsoft Power Query. I have the same Excel file open. So let me convert this into a table format, which is always recommended for Power Query. So this is the address column. Let me zoom in a bit. You might see that this appears in the same line, but as soon as we click on wrap text, or we can say Alt HW, you will see this is actually in a separate line and it's separated by a new line character. We just cannot see it in Excel. So let me load this into Power Query. So go from data tab, from table/range, give it a nice table name. Right, so select the address column, click on split column by delimiter, and here we will select delimiter as custom, remove anything already present in the field, and from here where it says split using special characters, click on it, and here we will select line feed, which is for new line character, and you can see it inserts a pound sign and an if in round parentheses. Click on OK, and you can see you have two new columns, which is address 1, address 2, with correct address information in separate columns. Keep in mind that your original column has disappeared. That is because we changed the existing column instead of adding a new column. So what we can do is we can create a copy of original column. So let's do that. I'm just gonna go a few steps above, click on address and say duplicate. So it's saying that you are inserting a step and your query might break, which is fine because we know that this is not going to change anything. So click on insert, and this is going to create a copy at very end. Let's go back to this, and I'm just gonna move this column over to the start so we can see this column side by side. This is not fun. Alright, almost there. Okay, so this was the original column and this is the splitted column, which is correct. Alright, this might seem easier in Power Query, but if you're really passionate about your data analysis and have a knack for learning, then Python Pandas is the way. For simple and easy stuff, Power Query will suffice, but for complex manipulations, Python Pandas is recommended. Alright, so this wraps up the first part of the video. I will see you in the next part with more data transformations and more examples of where you can switch from regular Excel to Python Pandas, or even use both in parallel to make the best of both. Happy learning and see you in the next video.